LeBron James might finally be done with the Lakers. And no, this isn't just another vague Instagram post or cryptic tweet. This time, it feels real. Because for the first time in his 22-year NBA career, LeBron has picked up his $52.6 million player option and is now on an expiring contract. That's never happened before. Never. Not once. LeBron has always controlled his destiny, always added on a player option year, always made sure he had the power. But now, that control might be slipping. And for the first time in a long time, it seems like the Lakers don't mind. So what does this all mean? Is LeBron bluffing again? Or is he genuinely preparing for the final act of his legendary career? Somewhere else? And if so, there are only 3 teams in the league that make any kind of realistic sense. 3 franchises that could pull off the impossible. But before we get to that, we need to understand why this moment is so different. Let's start with the most obvious sign, that $52.6 million player option. In a vacuum, it sounds like LeBron locking in one last massive payday. But in context, it's a warning shot. Because by accepting the option and not signing an extension, LeBron is now on an expiring deal. And that has never been the case. Ever. Every time he's faced a contract decision, he's either extended or structured it to give himself maximum leverage. This time, he left the door wide open. Then came the statement from his agent, Rich Paul. On the surface, it's professional, measured. But read between the lines, and it's classic LeBron passive aggression. LeBron knows the Lakers are building for the future, and he also wants to compete for championships. Translation: LeBron knows this team is moving on. He knows he's no longer the top priority, and he's not happy about it. But here's the twist. The Lakers aren't acting like they're scared. In fact, their moves this offseason suggest the opposite. They lost Dorian Finney-Smith to Houston, passed on big trades, and brought in DeAndre Ayton, a player who's talented, sure, but far from a proven winner. And let's be honest, Ayton calls himself dominate, unironically. He's not exactly the self-aware, team-first center that championship rosters are built around. Meanwhile, the Lakers still haven't made Austin Reeves available in trade talks. They're holding on to draft picks. They're thinking long-term, which is great, unless your name is LeBron James. Because LeBron doesn't care about the future. He's 40 years old. He wants to win now, period. And for the first time in his life, the team he's on is prioritizing someone else. That someone else is Luka Doncic, the new face of the Lakers, the franchise player. At just 26, Luka can compete now and still have a decade ahead of him. So while the Lakers build for Luka's prime, LeBron is stuck watching a team pivot away from him. His influence fading, his leverage slipping. And that hits the ego. So what does LeBron do? The only thing he's ever known how to do when things don't go his way? He threatens to leave. And this time, it might not be a bluff. But the bigger question isn't just whether he'd leave, it's where he would go. Let's start with the most sentimental option, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The hat that said, "Welcome home." The golf outing in Ohio. The social media hints. LeBron knows exactly what he's doing. He's feeding the rumors, stirring the pot. And yes, on paper, a return to Cleveland would be a storybook ending. One last ride in his hometown, one last banner, one final chapter. The Cavs are also in a win-now window. They won 64 games last season, but still flamed out in the second round. That kind of early exit causes panic, and panic leads to desperate moves. According to Cavs insider Chris Fader, everyone is on the table except Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. That means Darius Garland, Jarrett Allen, even role players like Dean Wade are available. A trade could work. The Lakers get Garland and Wade. The Nets step in to absorb Jarrett Allen, and Cleveland gets LeBron and maybe a second rounder. It's not impossible, but it is expensive. The Cavs would have to clear cap space just to get under the luxury tax apron, then give up multiple rotation pieces for a 40-year-old. It would be a huge gamble. And as much as the fans might want it, the front office might not be ready to make that kind of move. Not yet. If Cleveland is a nostalgic long shot, then Golden State is the wild card that actually makes sense. LeBron and Steph on the same team, it's the kind of NBA fever dream that would break the internet, and it might not be as far-fetched as it sounds. The Warriors need to shake things up. Their dynasty window is closing. Steph is still elite, but the roster around him is aging and inconsistent. A blockbuster trade could breathe new life into the Bay. The proposal? Golden State gets LeBron, the Lakers get Jimmy Butler. Simple. Sure, Jimmy is under contract for 2 more years, which hurts the Lakers' flexibility. And no, he's not on LeBron's level anymore, but he's still an elite two-way player with playoff pedigree. The trade works financially, and if Golden State really wants it, they could throw in a first-round pick or a promising young player like Brandon Pajemski to sweeten the deal. LeBron and Steph already have chemistry from the Olympics. They respect each other, and with Steve Kerr coaching, the fit is almost too perfect. It would instantly turn the Warriors into must-watch television and give LeBron one last shot at a ring without having to carry the load every night. But if you're talking pure media frenzy, pure market value, then there's only one team that makes more sense than even Golden State, the New York Knicks. LeBron has danced around the Knicks for years. The biggest market, the brightest lights, and now there's smoke. A leaked video of LeBron talking about Savannah wanting to retire in New York? That didn't go unnoticed. And the Knicks have assets. They could offer the Lakers OG Anunoby, a defensive stopper who can also score, Mitchell Robinson, a legit rim protector, and Deuce McBride, a young guard with upside. That gives the Lakers depth, defense, and pieces that fit around Luka. It makes sense for both teams. Now, there are other teams that fans like to throw into the rumor mill. The Denver Nuggets, the San Antonio Spurs, the Dallas Mavericks. But let's be real, LeBron isn't going to a small market. Outside of Cleveland, which is his hometown, he's always chosen the big stage. LA, Miami, back to LA, the man is a brand. Dallas has been floated because of his friendship with Kyrie and his respect for Luka. But the fit is weird. Kyrie is out most of next year. Their second best player is an 18-year-old rookie. LeBron doesn't want to play with kids, no matter how talented they are. He wants veterans. He wants to win, now. And that brings us to the ultimate trump card, the one move that could bypass all the trade drama, the cheat code. LeBron could demand a buyout. It would be cold, it would be calculated, and it would send shockwaves through the league. But if he did it, the Lakers might just say yes, not because they want to, but because they need to preserve their image as a player-friendly franchise. Say no, and you risk alienating every future star. Say yes, and you give LeBron the freedom to sign wherever he wants. Golden State, Cleveland, New York, anyone. Of course, a buyout would mean the Lakers get nothing in return, just cap space. And maybe, just maybe, that's what they want. With LeBron off the books, they'd have a full max slot next summer. They could chase a new co-star for Luka, or use the money to build a deeper, more balanced roster. In a weird way, LeBron walking might be exactly what they've been planning for all along. So, is he actually leaving? No one knows for sure. LeBron has always been a master of keeping us guessing. But this time, the signs are different. The contract, the statement, the silence from the Lakers. This might really be the end. And if it is, he won't just walk away. He'll detonate the league on his way out. One final power move. One last shock to the system. So where do you think LeBron goes? Cleveland? Golden State? New York? Or does he stay in LA and make one last run? Let us know in the comments. And if you want more stories that break down the NBA like no one else, don't forget to subscribe. Because if you think this offseason is wild, just wait until LeBron makes his move.